Hi guys, sorry again about the cancellation today. Unfortunately, if my legs don't work, I'm not very good at teaching. So just wanted to give you guys a bit of a free lesson and stuff like that by way of apology. And just wanted to cover really a little bit more about our box searches and stuff like that, because a couple of you are messaging me having a couple of issues and stuff like that, and that's absolutely fine. Box searches are actually probably one of the most difficult things. Environmental searches, fairly simple, but with box searches, you end up with dogs that particularly like targeting, freezing over the box because they're like, okay, I poked the box with my nose. Yes, this is how this works. So you can get a lot of pitfalls in this, and it can cause a couple of problems while you're working through it. But what we're going to do today is we're going to work through some false indications with my staffy Trevor, because he is absolutely terrible for doing them. He is a naughty, naughty piglet. So first things first, I just wanted to explain to you guys that by now you should have a Kong, possibly with or without a top, doesn't really matter. A Kong top that is separate, like that. A roughly centimetre square piece, although to be honest it's probably more than centimetre and a half, 2 centimetres square. And a little tiny piece like that, which is approximately half a centimetre square. I keep all of these in this pot here. I don't worry too much about contaminating them with my scent off my hands or anything like that, because at the end of the day, I'm not planning on taking my dogs into trials and stuff like that, or rather, I'm not planning on working my dogs operationally. As we move up through it, and as if things get a little bit more complicated, I'm going to teach you about how to keep it all clean and keep it all like there's no contamination, anything like that. But at the stage you guys are at, really doesn't matter at the moment. So tubs wise, I have, oh god, I collect tubs from all over the place. I have all sorts of like mixed containers and stuff like that, and I'm going to show you how to do those. But for the argument of today, what we're going to do is we're going to use 2 matching tubs. As simple as that, and we're going to see whether we start to get some false indications on this. What I might have to do is increase the number, but what I've got is I've got tubs of all sorts of different colours. These ones are absolutely terrible. They're from the pound shop. They break and split like nothing else. Still on the search for the right kind of pots for training with this. But yeah, start off with 2 pots. One of these has got a hole in the top, the other one hasn't. Doesn't really matter if you've got holes in the top of both, but start off with 2 identical pots for me. So what we're going to be working on is just proofing our indications and making sure that we're not getting false indications. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these 2 tubs down in front of me. The scent is in this one. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of different ground rules. I'm going to make sure that I put them both down at the same time. If I can't necessarily manage to do that for whatever reason, I'm going to make sure that I touch the one without the scent in it last, if that makes any sense, because a lot of our dogs, what they'll be doing is they will just be indicating on the place that you last touched rather than necessarily sniffing for the Kong. The way I'm going to put these down in front of me is I'm going to put them down square like this, so that there's no real obvious kind of, you should choose this one, you should choose this one. We're going to do a couple of those, and then we're going to start making things a little bit more difficult, and I'll show you what we mean. So, like I said, 2 tubs, they're going to go straight down like this. Wait. Find it. Good boy. Now, if I want him to go away, picked up the source of the scent, throw a treat away, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap them while he's off chasing that treat. And what we have there, see, sneaky false, yes, good boy. And when he makes that choice and goes on and sniffs the right one, it's a proper yes, and I mark it and I tell him that he's absolutely fantastic and that he's a really, really good boy. There we go, excellent. So what he gets is essentially a jackpot reward for making that right choice. So remember, both down at the same time, he comes over, yes, good boy, and he makes that right choice because he's worked through that process last time. Good boy. There you go, excellent, good lad. Now, what I'm going to do, hang on, I'm going to make a new video for that one. So what I'm going to do now that when they're put in front of me straight and flat on the floor like this, he's making the right choices. Go away. What I'm going to do this time is I'm actually going to trip him up a little bit, and I'm going to put the empty one closer to him. So I'm going to put them down like this. Most dogs, what they're going to do is they're going to go and sniff the one that's closest to them. Nice lazy stuff. Generally it's our super motivated dogs that do our false indications, because what they're doing is they're like, okay, I do the thing, I do the thing, I do the thing. And actually it's our less motivated dogs that don't do it quite as much. So I'm going to reset him, throw that treat away in that direction. Oh, throw another one. And I'm going to put the empty one further away. Good boy. And so you made that choice, he came across the top of it. Good. And I really kind of verbally reassured him. I was like, yeah, you're the best boy. Yes, good boy. There we go. So I'm going to do the same thing again, but I'm going to put the sauce scent closer to him. Yes, good boy. No stopping you now. Oh, did it go in? Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Oh, there we go. Now, if you've got a particularly snotty dog like me, I don't know whether you can see that, that is disgusting. Make sure that you wipe down your pots in between kind of each search. I just use, to be honest, quite often I just use my leg and just go like that, which isn't particularly great. But what you can use if you want to be particularly fastidious about it is you can get some baby wipes or something like that and just give that a wipe over so that your dog's not indicating on like the scent of their own snot, basically. So once your dog is reliably going past the empty one to the full one, what you can do then is you can start adding some more tubs in. So I'm going to reset him. Oh, Trev, sit, stay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, I know, back, stay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that different colour in. And I'm just going to make it so that it's fairly simple and obvious. It's the one closest to him. Now, the reason that I want to do that at the moment is because I want to trip him up in the next stage. And I want to really start proofing that search behaviour. So, Trevor, find it. Good boy. And that was really nice. You see, he went to the pink one, investigated it, went, oh no, there's nothing there. Good boy. Good boy. There we go. Excellent. So what I'm going to do this time, pink one goes in front. Yes, good boy. And can you see what I'm doing is I'm adding in loads of reinforcement when he gets that right one. I'm not making it too complicated. I'm literally just making sure that because he's made that good choice, that he's getting like jackpot reward on that sauce. Boy. So that is how you start proofing against false indications, is using clever setups with stuff. So Trev, leave it alone, good boy. So when we're doing stuff like that, what we want to do is make sure that the process is nice and easy for the dog. We are striving for sort of errorless learning, but there are going to be errors on the way, and we want the dog to work through that, particularly our super motivated dogs. Quite often, if they're not quite sure what to do, they'll just default to doing the thing that they know has worked previously, which is targeting stuff. So just set it up nice and easy at first. So at first, we've got that one option. This is just the one that you come towards, reward, reward, reward. We bring to 2, reward, reward, reward. We put the one with something in it closer. We put the one with something in it something slightly further. We put the 3 in a row, and then we start doing the swap around and stuff like that. So there's nice ways that you can build up some stuff. I'm going to give you another exercise as well, a new one that you can try at home, which is good fun. Won't work if anybody's got any bungalows, so if you've got a bungalow, let me know. Right, now it should be fairly obvious why now bungalows are not particularly suggested for this exercise, because what you need is a flight of stairs. Preferably carpeted. The only reason I say carpeted is I find that it's easier to jam stuff in the gaps. And what we're going to do is we're going to teach our dogs just to search an environment that's a little bit different and a little bit novel. So dogs generally, they struggle to be kind of mentally flexible with stuff. So how often do you find that your dog gets stuck into particular patterns with things? So when you let them off lead at a particular walk, they go to specific places to sniff first. There's all sorts of different patterns and things that our dogs get stuck into. I did a wonderful exercise with a trainer not long ago where we had to do loose lead walking. But what we were doing was we sent our dogs basically down an obstacle course of things where they had to climb over and sniff and all that sort of stuff. And then on the way back, we had to walk loose lead through it. And most of the dogs struggled with that because they're like, well, this is where we do bashing and sniffing and stuff like that. So stairs, generally our dogs don't tend to spend too much time on the stairs. Some of our dogs might sort of sleep on the stairs and stuff like that. I know that Peaches, she quite often likes to sleep up next to that cardboard box full of vet bed. Please excuse the mess. I would have an excuse, but I'm just a messy person. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at stair searches, and just challenging our dogs a little bit. Now I'm going to use Trevor to start with. I'm going to show you a little video of what I'm going to do with Trev because he has done these before. And then I'm going to get Peaches out, who has never seen a stair search before. So it's going to be a bit more realistic for you guys. Right, so first of all, please excuse my scruffy muddy stairs. They're in need a bit of a vacuum. What I've got is I've got my small piece of Kong, the smallest bit that I've got. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to find a corner. And see there's a corner there, and I'm going to jam that just into that corner there. And simple as that. You can use tweezers and tongs if you want, if you're worried about kind of scent crossing over, but it doesn't really matter. What I've done is I've jammed it on the left-hand side about halfway up the flight of stairs, so that essentially what we're doing is searches at the top are going to be difficult, searches at the bottom are going to be difficult. Because generally when my dogs get down here to kind of run around and go outside and all that kind of thing, they have to accelerate. Please excuse all the Lego. Or if they're at the top of the stairs, again, they're going to accelerate to go and sniff around the bathroom or sniff around the bedroom, whatever it is that they want to do. So the middle of the stairs, that's where we're going to be doing our searches. Right, now this is a little reminder that Trev has done stair searches before. He hasn't done them in a while, so we will find out. Trevor, come. Trevor, good boy. Okay, find it. And all I'm doing is I'm just stepping back and letting him work. Well done, he's found the top of treats. Go on, find it. Yes, good boy. And you see that little freeze there? That's what we're looking for. So I'm going to ask him again. Yes, good boy. I'm dumping a load of food just near that source of the scent. Yes, good boy. The good thing about it being in a corner is that if you've got a particularly nibbly dog, they find it a little bit harder to pick up. So let's have a go at Peaches. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me. What I'm going to do is I am just going to pop this Kong piece down here, which hopefully you can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to call Peaches up, and I'm just kind of sat side on to the source of the scent. I'm going to do a little tap near it, so about here. Bear in mind it's hidden in this corner. And hopefully what she's going to do is she's going to go, oh, that smells interesting. So Peaches, find it. Yes, good girl. It's there. Missed your reward. Yes, and what I'm doing is rewarding each time she goes back. So that's quite difficult to see. I'm going to have to film that again. Yes, good girl. Good girl. But you can see how I set that. So just going to film from another angle, just throwing that treat down the stairs, end up with nice tired dogs. Again, popping that little bit of Kong in that corner. Peaches, find it. Yes, good girl. Yes. And that's actually a really nice example of how the dog may not come into the source of the scent how you expect them to. Yes, good girl. Well done. I think you've eaten that bit. Well done. Yes, you ate a piece of Kong. So we're just going to do another little search so hopefully you can see it a little bit better. Again, what I'm doing is I'm jamming that little piece in the corner. This is a different piece because Peaches just ate the last one. Yes, you did. Okay, Peaches, find it. Yes, good girl. Yes. 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 Good girl. And what I can do, this time I'm going to confuse her. This step now smells like food. I'm going to move it a step lower and let's see how she works out with that. Find it. Yes, good girl. It's the postman. Find it. Business on your own time. Find it. Trev, go away. Trevor, away. Multiple dog problems. Trev, go away. Peaches, find it. Yes. Find it. Yes. Yes. Good girl. So there we go. Little introduction onto a new little exercise for you guys to try. Feel free to video it. As you can see, my videos are all a little bit khaki, for lack of a better word, because I'm having to squash myself into a very small gap in a very, very small, very, very messy house. So let me know if there's any problems with that at all, and thank you so much for being so understanding about today. I'm going to sit back down with the heat mat, which I was going to show you then, but realised that that's kind of not redundant. Let me know if there's any issues, drop me a message, anything like that, but otherwise I hope that you guys have a great week and I'll see you next week.